Chapter 11, Establishment in Our True Nature. And this chapter explores the familiar experience of that many people report of going back and forth from the content of experience to the presence of awareness in the background. And so this chapter explores gradually becoming established in one's true nature. And I liken this back and forth process to meeting someone at a party. So I'll just read you these few chapters. At first, most of us glimpse our essential being in the background of experience, only to find it, through force of habit, almost immediately eclipsed by the content of experience. In this case, we may repeatedly trace our way back to ourself until we begin to be established in it, as it. It's like meeting a stranger at a lecture or a party. Initially, we catch sight of them briefly, and although we have never seen them before, our interest is awakened. We seem to recognize them. For some time, their memory disturbs us, as if calling us to something we have always known, but have forgotten. 2 weeks later, we come across them again in the supermarket. It seems like a coincidence, but at the same time we are not surprised. We arrange to meet for coffee and begin to become acquainted, and we notice that the deeper the acquaintance, the greater the desire to know more. Next we meet for dinner, and soon we spend the weekend together. Some months later we move in and happily live ever after. And hopefully live happily ever after. For most of us, the recognition of our true nature takes place in a similar way. Repeated glimpses, followed by gradual establishment, although in rare cases the first recognition is sufficient and is never again eclipsed by experience. Either way, once we have had that first glimpse, our life is never the same again. We have been disturbed by something that is recognized to be at once new and familiar. After this first recognition, we become curious. We may seek out a friend, read a book, watch a video, or simply investigate within ourselves. Sooner or later, we are led back to the same experience, to our own being, in its original naked condition, before it is qualified by experience. And again we taste its innate peace and joy. We rest there. For how long we do not know, since this does not take place in the same time as does our everyday experience. Eventually, through force of habit, objective experience draws us away from ourself. However, we notice that each time we return to ourself, we seem to rest there a little longer, and as we do so, the habit of getting lost in experience is gradually eroded. For some time it may seem that we go back and forth between our objective experience and the peace of our essential being. But eventually we develop the ability not only to return to ourself in the background of experience, but to remain there in the midst of experience. Experience has lost its power to take us away from ourself and to veil our innate peace and happiness. We no longer lose ourselves in the content of experience. We are becoming established in our true nature. We have come home.